Hi guys, welcome to another episode of FPL Backbenchers. I think it's been repetitive. We have been saying it's very long. It's actually been very long. I feel like it feels almost like a season break after which we are starting once again. I have never had an experience of a season break whilst doing this, but I don't know. Let's welcome my co-host Anjan. How was the break for you? Glad that we
Very
did.
good actually.
Very good.
Yeah, very good actually. Yeah, very good. Break was very good for me
And why is that?
because I could reconstruct my mind and I could think a bit differently about my team. So yeah, it was good for me.
I'm just glad that we did the pod because if we were to review the last game week now, I would have forgotten everything, which is what we had absolutely predicted. Speaking of the last game week, it just got over, I think, couple of days back, and tomorrow is the next deadline. So while the long break was going, at least I was cribbing about it, such a long break. It was very absolutely pathetic. Now that the FPL deadline is upon us, I feel like I need a bit more time because I still haven't plugged into FPL properly. So a bit irrelevant for you, I think the last match itself, nobody there in your team.
Yeah,
Lucky for us, foster owners, we got a clean sheet. I feel
I
every
like I slept very well that night. I didn't see anything, not a single minute of football, not even the score. So it was a peaceful night for me actually.
yeah,
Dennis captainer, obviously.
yeah. We King captainers had a very exciting time. The King gave a grand total of one more point. So yeah, victory I guess over when Dennis captainers we are like
Yeah,
8 points over the moon. Absolutely pathetic game week. And to be honest, as we were saying, I think probably Burnley defenders would have been the answer. Nick Pope would have been the answer. 19%. Anyways, it was absolutely hindsight. Never would have gone for Nick Pope, especially since he was an upgrade over Ramsdale. So yeah, no point talking about spilled milk. So what are we going to do today,
true,
Anjan?
true.
We have already covered.
Ah,
Guys, anybody wants to cover or get a view of as to what happened in Game Week 23, please check our last video. We have already done the review of the game week spe- exactly for
yeah,
this reason
true.
because we do not have remembered anything right now. So do check out our last video. So what are we doing today?
Well, it's a pretty busy time actually. Lots of games are coming thick and fast. Lots of cheap strategies are going on around. So we thought like we should also chip in about our thoughts, like how to like plan forward, how to like navigate these particular fixtures and all those stuff. So we will talk about the chips, about the games, about the fixtures, everything.
It's like an effort from our end. Basically, it's a small effort. I don't know if it's relevant or not, but what we felt is we can easily just discuss Game Week 24 and move on. But point is, it's just not relevant if we discuss just Game Week 24 because once Game Week 24 starts again, coming weekend there's another game week. It comes thick and fast, especially if I just bring over to what the fixtures are. Before that, guys, please do like and subscribe to our channel. Drop in the like, smash the like button. Uh, to let your friends, your families know about our channel that exists, and do appreciate of our work if you like it. So let's look at the fixture straight away, Anjan. And this is a table. I have selected this table because this is much more clarified. It bases on well what is supposed to happen, and especially based on Ben Krellin's table, obviously. This is from Regret FPL, so give him a shout out if you guys like it. So if we divide it upon like from game week 24 to game week 30, if this is, we consider this as a potential block of fixtures, and if we divide it in two parts, so from game week 24 to 27, it's pretty much interlinked. When I say interlinked, there is not a huge gap, and I don't think we have ever had it wherein 24 is a blank game week, 25 is a double game week, come also a blank game week, 26 is a mega double game week, and 27 is again a blank game week. So obviously that's where the entire conception of discussing about chip strategy comes in, because you cannot just objectively look at game week 24 and look at the transfers and be done with it, because all the transfers do have an implication going forward as well, especially if you are
completely.
not having an abundant number of chips, or if you're not willing to use all your chips in these game weeks, then you do need this strategy. If your plan is to, well, you cannot free hit back to back game weeks, but your plan is to free hit, then wildcard, then bench boost, or whatever it is, then yeah, go ahead. Absolutely. So before we look at game week 24 in this first block of fixtures, let's discuss a bit about game week 25. Now, game week 25, if you don't know, if you have been living under a rock, Chelsea are at the Club World Cup. Then obviously Chelsea are not part of this particular game week, and so are their opponents, Arsenal. Right. So none of it has been rescheduled. Nothing has been rescheduled for Arsenal as of yet that we are aware about. So as of now, Chelsea are definitely having a blank game week because they cannot possibly at both places. Arsenal, we are yet to see. So why is the game week 25 relevant? Because two teams have a double game week. That's Manchester United and Brighton. Now, out of these two, possibly Manchester United has the better double game week, considering both of them are at home. One is against Southampton, one is against Brighton again. So, relevancy wise, why this is relevant is if you want to attack this particular game week or double game week 25, as you like to call it, you need to plan for that. If you don't have any Manchester United or Brighton players, then that has to be factored in to your game week 24 transfers as well, because both of those teams do have semi decent fixtures, but Brighton, I think, don't have
They
a
have a blank. Yeah,
they have a blank
they have a
game.
blanket.
So that's what makes this even particularly tricky. Now, game week 26 is something that's a mega double game week. We will just look at the game week 26 fixtures now. This is FDR based game week 26 fixtures done by a very good friend of mine, FPL Mate till 38. Go check out his Twitter profile. So what he has done is basically categorized all the team that has double game week fixtures along with the fixtures as per as their fixture difficulty rating. So Liverpool arguably by far has the best double game week fixture, wherein they have two home matches against Norwich and Leeds, closely followed by Arsenal, who also have two home matches against Brentford and Wolves. Palace has Chelsea at home, Watford away. Watford has Aston Villa away and Crystal Palace at home. Wolves has Leicester home and Arsenal away. Spurs, Man City, and Burnley both away. Burnley has Brighton away, Tottenham home, and finally Leeds has Manchester United home and Liverpool away. So this also has to be navigated along with Game Week 25. So if you carefully notice, the teams that have a double in Game Week 25 do not have a double in Game Week 26.
Yeah.
Now, if again move on to Game Week 27, I'm sorry guys, like just have a bit of patience. If this is all getting confusing, it'll all make sense. I'll make sense of for you. Now, if you move on to Game Week 27, which is again a blank game week. Why it is a blank game week? Because it's the Carabao Cup final, right, Anjan?
Yeah.
Liverpool against Chelsea. So Liverpool against Chelsea are playing in the Carabao Cup final. So due to that, their opponents have a blank. Their opponent once again is Arsenal. Liverpool plays against Arsenal and plays against Leicester, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So Leicester also has a blank. Now, if you can see on the screen, it's written against Leicester, Burnley away question mark. That is due to the fact that, well, something can be rescheduled over there since Leicester are out of the FA Cup journey as well as this. So that's something that we'll consider later. Now you need to navigate 24, 25, 26, 27 with a cohesive chip strategy. So before we discuss into that, let's again come back to double game week 26 and figure out exactly how many players, because this is what will determine your chip strategy, right? So how many players, Anjan, do you think you need from this particular double game week?
You mean double game week 26?
The big one, yeah.
Yeah, and can you just read out the fixtures of other team which are like having a single game week?
Yeah, sure. So the single game week fixtures are Manchester City will be having Tottenham at home, Chelsea will be having Crystal Palace away, um, Manchester United will be having Leeds away, West Ham will be having Newcastle at home, Brighton has Burnley at home, Leicester has Wolves away, Aston Villa has Watford at home, and Southampton has Everton at home. These
So
are
after looking to the fixtures, I think probably United, West Ham, and Aston Villa have like very good fixtures in even in game week 26 in being it a single game week. So if you have like players from this team, uh, preferably I would say that okay, play them. So like depending upon like how many players you have from them, I think seven to eight 7 to 8 player is enough for me. I think 7 to 8 or maximum 9, I guess.
yeah. So when we are saying like we don't want to be randomly throwing out numbers that you should have seven, you can have 11 as well. But the point
Yeah,
is, when you're having 11, you have to also quantify the kind of like, are you covering for the sake of covering? Because that necessarily does not equate to points, right? So if we
true.
now look again at double game week 26, we have all agreed that Liverpool by far has the best outstanding fixture. So assuming that everybody would and should have three Liverpool players, which is the limit that we can have, that's three players covered. Now, when we say eight, if that eight consists of a triple up of Watford, then probably that's not the right way to go about it because then you are inadequately represented in the double game week. Because even though Watford, as we have seen, Watford just had a double game week and it was arguably a much better double game week than the one that they had. And Dennis ended up having a -1, and King gave up only 3 points in that double game week. So probably not worth it. So Liverpool definitely three players. Arsenal, there's an argument wherein Arsenal defensive assets definitely are better. Also, the important thing and the good thing about owning an Arsenal double game week player is the fact that Arsenal do have a fixture in
Game week 30.
game week 30. Okay. So that's a bit later that we'll journey into. Why that is relevant? Well, game week 30 will be affected by the round 5 of FFA Cup fixtures, wherein we are expecting right now, I think, as less as four fixtures happening right about now. With
No,
with
actually,
both,
like again, wait, just hold on. The game week 30 fixtures would be affected due to quarterfinal of FA Cup because round five fixtures will happen in a midweek.
yeah, we,
I
we
think it's happening.
we will be talking about the game week 30 scenario. Anyways, nonetheless, if we now discuss about Arsenal and what is happening, so assuming that you have or most people do have Ramsdale, so he's a solid pick for the double game week, considering Arsenal have both the fixtures at home. Possibly a double up with a defender or an attacker is not a bad option. So if you like two players from Arsenal, three players from Liverpool, now that becomes dicey because you have five players who will be blanking the very next game week. So that is something that again needs to be taken into consideration. Palace has relatively decent, wherein they have Chelsea home and Watford away. But the popular choice Gallagher will not be available for both of them since he is from Chelsea and he's on loan from Chelsea, so he'll not be playing Chelsea. So Gallagher is not an option. In my mind, definitely a defense is not an option. Let's look at Palace's game week 27 fixture. Palace has Burnley home, so they do have a decent uh,
Decent fixture.
upcoming game week 27 fixture. So if you want to probably venture towards the Palace defender, that's not a bad option. But not much to be gained there. So Palace is a bit iffy. You might own, you might not own. Watford, assuming that most of us already do have a Watford player, at least one, if not three, there will be an inclination. We will not be all selling all the Watford players that we do have. So, assuming that we at least carry forward one Watford player in our squad, that's already six double game week players, six to seven double game week players that we do have. Now comes Wolves. Now, Wolves, Leicester home, you can probably argue that there might be a chance for clean sheet. Arsenal away, probably, maybe, maybe not. Wolves also has a game week 27 fixture, but it is not exactly a very amazing or decent fixture. It's against West Ham away. So that's not the best fixtures that Wolves have. So you might cover, you might not cover. Spurs has Man City away and Burnley home. Interestingly, Spurs have a very good game week 27 fixture, which is again a
Leeds, I guess.
plan for.
Leeds.
Yes. So now, if you are, and if you look at the fixtures from where is Spurs, yeah, Spurs is against Leeds away. So now, if you look
Leeds.
at the fixtures that Spurs have, it's against Man City away and Burnley away. Although it's not as attractive, it's probably not a bad fixture for an attacking player. So if you're owning probably a Harry Kane or a Son or some other midfielder that you want to, there is something that can be ventured out too. So just by looking at this, and okay, there are some people, there are rather a lot of people who already own Rafinha. They definitely would not be selling Rafinha before a double game week is coming, irrespective of the fact that it's against Manchester United and Liverpool. So if you get the general idea that about eight to nine double game week players, that is the group of players, or that is the combination and mixture of play that you should be targeting. If your double game week consists of triple Watford or double Burnley, as we were saying, then probably it is not the ideal mix of double game week players that you need, players you have. So the number of players that you have and the right mix of players that you have essentially defines your chip strategy now, correct? So the mix of player that we were talking about, which is essentially three Liverpool, one or two Arsenal, one Spurs, uh, one or two Watford players, probably a Palace player. If this is the mix that you can reach with free transfer from now till game week 26, then I don't think there is any requirement for you to play a wild card in between to navigate this particular double game week, come blank game week scenarios, right? Now let's assuming these are the factors that we do have. Just to let you know before we start the chips discussion, game week 27 is a blank for Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal, and Leicester, as we mentioned. So keep that in mind as well. Now, Anjan, if we considering all these scenarios, let's talk about what should be the chip strategy for somebody who has all the chips remaining. So when I say all the chips
Uh,
remaining, that basically means the second wild card, two free hits, the bench boost, the triple captain. Got it.
well, ideally, the basic would be it would be definitely depending upon team. But ideally, I feel if you can,
So when you say
as
team,
you just
basically
said,
talking about the mix of the players that you have.
Yeah, exactly. So it will be about like team dependent. Like many people don't have United player just like me. I probably have only a goalkeeper. I don't have any midfield asset, or I don't have someone like Cristiano Ronaldo in my team. I know I can do Kane to him, but I don't feel like it's an worth enough transfer. So it depends upon team, and basically the general idea should be just like navigate up to 27 by hits, or like by taking one or two hits if you can, and then probably
Sorry, I'm
then
interrupting a bit. So before we
yeah, yeah.
get into that discussion, I think there are two relevant points to talk about. Firstly, that we did not touch upon is, what do you think is the adequate number of double game week players for game week 25? Because that defines a lot.
uh, I feel probably 2 to 3 United players is sufficient. I don't
Because
see
I,
anything.
yeah, I don't think
I don't see Brighton. I don't see anything from Brighton, especially. But yeah, if you can afford, like if you have some luxury transfer, probably Ramsdale and Sanchez are a very good keeper combination till I think game week 30. I think they are a very good keeper combination because Arsenal and Sanchez bonds quite well according to rotation pair. I think gaming 27 Brighton plays who?
but the problem with that is Brighton plays Aston Villa at home in game week 27. The problem with that is if you are having a pairing of Ramsdale and Sanchez, you have no double game week keeper in game week 26. So that
Why?
might become an
Why?
issue.
Why? Because Ramsdale is having a double game week.
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. So yeah, Ramsdale will be having a double game week. So my
Yeah.
bad. Okay. So probably even if you are going for a Brighton player, considering the fixture that Brighton has from game week 25 onward, game week 24, mind you, for Brighton is a blank. So do not bring in a Brighton player this game week. The fixtures for Brighton are Watford away, Manchester United away, Burnley home, Aston Villa home, which is kind of semi decent. You can go or look towards that, but particularly, I don't think having a Brighton. This is just my opinion, guys. I mean, I might be horribly wrong, but I think it's not absolutely a must to own a Brighton player for game week
Not a
25.
must.
Yeah, it's not a
Not a
must.
must, I feel. But again, it's an like viable option. Like you can go for a two United player and one Brighton defender probably. No, I think no one from attack. I think Trossard, Mope, both of them doesn't attracts me at all. And I guess like Trossard is out due to COVID also. So ideally, game week 25. Ideally, I think 2 to 3 United players should be sufficient. I feel.
I don't think Mope is a bad option, to be very honest, considering there is again like throughout the season we have a lack of striker options. So I don't think Mope is that bad an option considering he has a double game week coming up. So basically, we agree on the fact that 2 to 3 double game week players for game week 25, majority of them being from United, is probably perfect. So this is one thing. Second discussion before we get on to chip strategy is, guys, you have to decide for yourself and looking at your team absolutely what which chip, because definitely we all will be using some chip in game week 26. So what is that chip that you should be using in game week 26? So I would, Anjan, what do you think? Which what should
I
be used?
feel like uh, I think this is the best time to use your triple captain chip because I think Salah is the most excited kind of player. I think he's the most person who is guaranteed some minutes, and Liverpool are a very good attacking team. He will sure should get minutes, and they are playing. No, I think Norwich and Leeds home. I think you can get a better double game fixtures for a triple captain, I guess.
Okay,
We like,
let me say that. So, uh, the discussion, see, a lot of people I have seen discussing whether to triple captain, whether to bench boost, whether to use the free hit on that particular game week and retain all your Manchester United players for 27 going forward. A lot of things flying around. Before we discuss the merit of that, we have to objectively think about a triple captain in 26 versus a triple captain somewhere down the line, because
yeah,
triple captain versus bench boost in 26 will not exactly is not the correct parameter to judge which chip you
judge
should.
it actually.
It's not the same thing. Fixture wise, it's not probably the best game week to bench boost, but that is not a fair comparison. You have to compare wherein will you have another opportunity where you can triple captain. So the opportunity, as Anjan and me were discussing before the pod, was probably wherein City will be blanking in game week 30 due to
Yeah,
FA Cup.
FA Cup.
There's a high probability. It's not guaranteed that they will be blanking, but it's a high probability that they will. And moving then in that case, probably they do have a double game week coming up in game week 33 or 36, whichever might that be. The problem with that is definitely City are a very good anyway. Anytime they are a good triple captaincy option, but the problem is by that time they might have the league wrapped up, and if the league is wrapped up, City are concentrating solely and wholly on the Champions League, there will be a rotation. So the rotation factor does come in. Even assuming, let's say that Cancelo is somebody who is nailed, who will probably not be nailed once the league is wrapped up. Now it's a judgment call as to what kind of a manager you are. If you are comfortable triple captaining Cancelo in a double game, it's not a bad option. I mean, John Stones gave 27 points last double game week, but it again depends on your appetite and what kind of a manager you are. Historically, also, just I will quickly pull up all the unscheduled fixtures that are to be scheduled, which has been postponed for the last, I think, couple of months due to COVID and all. So the hope was against Salah triple captaincy was if Leicester would have won this particular round, which they have lost in the FA Cup, and they were progressing in the Europa Conference thing. Are they in the Conference League or the Europa League? It's where.
Europa League.
Okay. So if they were progressing in the Europa League as well, there was a chance that due to the fixture congestion and their uh, pile up, they could have had a triple game week. But that is no longer the case right now, right? So
Yeah,
Leicester have now enough free game weeks to schedule every, and they can literally have single game weeks. So that's not the option. These are, as you can see on the screen, I'll just quickly read out just the teams that have fixtures to be scheduled. Brighton, Spurs, Wolves, Leeds, Burnley, Watford, Arsenal, Liverpool, Aston Villa, Everton, Southampton, Newcastle, Norwich, Leicester, Chelsea. Amongst these teams that I have stated that have fixtures to be scheduled, you will probably consider Liverpool, Arsenal, um, Chelsea, Spurs. These are the teams that you might consider for a triple captaincy chip. Looking at Spurs' fixture, they have Brighton away and Arsenal home to be postponed. I don't think either of them are a good fixture compared to Salah's fixture of Norwich home and Leeds home. So whenever I'm
yeah.
comparing fixture, just compare this against Salah's fixture that he has. So that probably is not the best option. Liverpool again might have a double game week, but that will be against Arsenal. It's not as good as Leeds home. It's not as good as Norwich home. Arsenal definitely they have Chelsea, Tottenham, Liverpool. None of them worse fixtures. Plus, who will you triple captain from Arsenal? Are you even confident of captaining somebody from Arsenal? I don't think so. I am. Nobody is. Moving on, Leicester were only consideration if at all they had a triple game week. I don't think anybody is going forward and captaining Jamie Vardy or even triple captaining Jamie Vardy for that sense. Chelsea were an option. Chelsea has Arsenal home and Leicester home. Okay, Chelsea, Leicester home probably a good fixture, but who do you triple captain from Chelsea? Lukaku is not in the best of form. He's not nailed. Midfield, you cannot. Mount is not a very high explosive, high ceiling player. The only players you could have probably triple captain or thought about were James and Chilwell. Chilwell is out for the season. James, we don't know when is the return point. So essentially, if you look, there is hardly any triple captain option, and even if there is, there's hardly anybody who is Mo Salah who has Norwich and Leeds home.
Completely agree. But again, many people, I have seen many people already have used their triple captain on
Well,
like
anybody who has already used it on probably let's say a Bowen or a Bruno
Bowen.
used, I absolutely kudos to you guys. Well, fair enough. My point is, this is historically, I'm speaking from my experience. Triple captain is absolutely a rubbish ship, and you should not be trying to be too smart with it because I think none of us have actually overcome it. A lot of people are complaining that it's a very monotonous move to triple captain Salah because practically everybody will be doing it. But sometimes in FPL, it is always not about gaining that differential. Sometimes it is also about defending your rank. That is also a way how you progress in rank. In case if you guys are wondering, so even just the simple act of triple captaining Salah will ensure you a green arrow, however small that might be. I think any form of green arrow is definitely better than a red arrow. You will prefer a green arrow even for 5 positions than a red arrow for whatever quantity, right? So I think personally for me, even if it does not give me much gain, absolutely no question because it's the best picture. And if your triple captainship is failing, understand everybody's triple captainship is failing because mostly everybody will be going. Apart from this, there might be some people who will not triple captain and who will get away with Salah not scoring. But even for them and their decision to be vindicated, they have to get lucky down the line of selecting and pinpointing the exactly right choice of triple captain and triple captaining that player in that game week. So this is all a very high probability game. Why will you want to engage your mind regarding that? Because we have two free hits to play, one bench boost to play, we have a wild card to go. This is the absolute worst chip in my opinion. Anjan, you want to voice your opinion? I have very strong opinions about triple captainship.
I don't have any very fond memories of triple captain because I probably I had Mane captain few years back. He returned 1 point. So like I don't have a very good memory of triple captain, honestly.
Absolutely.
So
I don't think anybody has. I last year itself as well. I don't think it was very good triple captain for any of us. So just get over with it because just like if Mo Salah plays, and I don't. There's a lot of doubt and debate whether he will start. There's absolutely no world, guys, where he does not start. Klopp starts in every match,
yeah, he
especially
would definitely play.
especially
My
if
my
okay,
worry is that my main worry is that Salah, if he plays Gaming 24,
he will not
because
play.
because Leicester defense is horrible. They just conceded four against Nottingham Forest
But
with their, I think, best lineup. So
I absolutely have no doubt that Salah and Mane both will not start this game week. Both of them will be on bench, and I think both of them comes around with 20-25 minutes remaining. They can run havoc, by the way, in that time as well, mind you. But I don't think that they will be starting up front because there's no need to. Jota, Firmino, Oxlade-Chamberlain, they're much more. Leicester has the worst expected goal conceded in the league right now, at least in the last six. So I don't think there's any issue with um, wherein Mane and Salah have to start, especially when they have a Champions League fixture down the line with I think it's against Inter or Atletico. No, Atletico is United. Okay, so probably against Inter.
anyways, Anyways, I just want to ask you, what would be your chip strategy? Like how you are looking forward to move
Well,
ahead?
my strategy will again is totally team dependent. So, like right now, uh, let's complete what we are trying to talk about here. So, we both agree that triple captain is the best option in game week 26, right? If
Yeah, true.
if there are some people who are in the scenario wherein you have both the keepers who are a double game week keeper, and if you feel like it's a decent enough uh, bench boost is not the worst option because you can go ahead for, and you don't have to actually achieve 15 double game week players to do that bench boost. As we pointed out, the single game week players that are also some of those single game week players can outscore a double game week player, to be very honest. So if you are having those right mix of single game week players, especially like West Ham against Watford, and you were talking
United
about
again leads.
United against Leeds, so all these fixtures are really nice. If you are bench boosting, I think it's a good strategy to bench boost without using the wild card before, so that you can wild card out of that team and you can put the entire mass and the main chunk of your budget into your first 11. So that is also a very good strategy. The only thing is whether you can navigate game week 27 or not. If yes, then yes, you can go ahead with bench boost. It's a good idea. You want
No,
to be
actually, game week 27, people can go for a free hit also. I don't mind using a free hit in game week 27. Like I feel game week 27, many single game week fixtures are quite good enough, and probably we would know about any future double game week also. Like probably Aston Villa might get a double gimmick. I heard somewhere Wolves might also get a double gimmick. So you can basically you can target all those particular teams and can like build a decent number of teams. Like you can also probably build like a three Liverpool player, three Arsenal player. Like those two particular team have a very good he have a very good double game week 26 fixtures. So like you target them and probably you can free hit in 27. And I guess from 28 Arsenal have a very good line of fixtures too.
true.
So like this could also be a mm, nice strategy I feel.
Arsenal have a good line of fixture for the next 7, 8 fixtures. I have to be very honest. Well, this is a
Yeah.
good strategy. I am in favor of this. I'll tell you, if Burnley, like we are predicting that they might have a double in 27, I think it's a very viable strategy. Me particularly, I am not in favor of pre-hitting when there is like only one or two fixture missing in the game week, or if there are like 7, 8 fixture missing in the game week, because I feel the maximum benefit you get from a free hit, or you can gain from a free hit in a blank game week, is when roughly 5 to 6 fixture are happening. Any more and any less, it's absolutely wasted because everybody will have the same exact same amount of player. When there are like 8 or 9 matches happening and it's just one match or two matches that is not happening, I think the still the mix of player is too high for there to be a lot of variance, wherein you might hit the perfect free hit team, you might not hit the perfect free hit team. If the mix
No, suppose in like game week 27, I think if like three, four teams have a double game week fixtures, then would you like probably go
it's
for?
a double game week fixture, yeah, definitely. Then I think free hitting makes a lot more sense. But if it's this is for me personally, by the way, if you ask my opinion, I'm just voicing my opinion. For me, particularly, if it is just the blank game week wherein Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal, and Leicester are missing, for that particular instance or eventuality, I think I can plan wherein I don't need to use my chip. Because
Well, just to like ask you something. Okay, fine. You are telling that you will plan up to game week 27 without probably you will use your triple captain on game week 26, and you won't be using any free hit, you won't be using your wild card or anything else up to game week 27. Then I feel 28, 29, 30. Then also you can manage with like transfers and all those stuff. Then the thing would be, you you would be having a wild card left, you would be having two free hit left, you would be having a bench boost left. So like basically four chips are left, and after gaming 30 there is around 8 game weeks. So how would you navigate it completely? Like
So there
when
from game week 30 onward, if what you mentioned and if that is exactly what happens in that instance, this also I think it also depends on a lot of what rank. Okay, so right now I am within like I think 100K. So I'm right now in the 80K or something zone like that. If I would have been somewhere like half a million or a million, I would have definitely used my wildcard right now, because there is no point in holding a wildcard longer. It will not have as much impact right now. One thing is a rank play. As per your question, what you said, in that case, from 30 onwards to 38, there are supposed to be two big double game weeks. So my wild card would have been before one of the double game weeks, and the bench boost would have been on that double game week. The next double game week would have been a free hit, and the remaining free hit I still, that is my plan by the way, preferably to keep it till game week 38, because 38 there can be a lot of gain, especially as you know, we play a lot for our mini leagues as well. That can also become a play where if you want to cover positions in your mini league, that free hit chip might come in handy. So that's just about a rough plan. I actually, if you remember, mm, it's constantly evolving. Whatever is the plan. I told you long back that I want to use my wildcard pretty soon this time enough, but somehow due to whatever has happened in the past few game weeks, that has brought me to a position, especially wherein I don't feel there is much justification right now. Because if I'm using a wildcard right now as well, I think I'm compelling and pushing myself towards doing a bench boost. If I'm not doing a bench boost, then using that chip again becomes a hassle later down the line. Plus, it's not difficult to plan for game week 25, 26, and 27 if you're using a wildcard, by the way, just to state that. So, right now, if you are using a wildcard, which you can, if you are in a situation wherein you don't have any United player, so Anjan will be better able to talk about that. Then in that case, what is your plan? Are you thinking about wildcarding because you don't have United players, you don't have Salah in your team as well? So what is or how are you thinking about doing
well,
about?
difficult question. Well, I was initially my thought was everything related to wildcard, but again, that is not like completely out of the window right now. I may probably go for my wildcard also, but again, I'm like trying to navigate my team without a wildcard. If I see okay, too many hits are being taken, it's quite impossible to do. Then probably I would like go for a wildcard.
Cool. So for people who, as to our point, if you have both your free hit chips remaining and your wild card and all your chips remaining basically, if you can build a team towards a double game week, strong double game week 26, wherein you load up on your Liverpool and your Arsenal and your whatever players that you want, and if you're using the triple captain there, you I would suggest take advantage of the double game week or the blank game week 27, whatever comes around, by using a free hit. So in that case, you can easily load up on United players if you want to. They have Watford at home, which is a very decent fixture. Especially since they lost 4-1, I think it will be a retaliation kind of a match. Should be rather. Um,
Yeah,
so
completely agree about that.
so you can take advantage of that particular fixture by loading up, or not just United fixture. There are some decent fixture as well. If you're not owning Spurs players, Spurs have Leeds away, Southampton, Broya probably coming.
Norwich home.
In. Aston Villa has,
Bro is injured.
he'll be fit by then. I think it's not a very serious injury. So there are decent fixtures that you can take. I think Brentford has a beautiful run of fixtures from 27. It has Newcastle home, New Norwich away, Burnley home, Leeds away. So sorry, Leicester away. So that is as good as it gets. So you can take advantage of all these fixtures by using a free hit, so that you're not carrying forward these particular players into your team, and your team is set with Salah and Arsenal players for the rest of the journey. That is one way to go about it. If you only have one free hit chip available, then I would not suggest you to use the chip right now, because you might need it in game week 30. Why will you need it in game week 30? Because it is supposed to be a very big blank game week, wherein only probably four fixtures right now can happen or would happen. Let's look at the blank game week 30 scenario. So the confirmed fixture that right now, due to Leicester being knocked out of the FA Cup, is Leicester against Brentford would be happening. So from the discussions that we had till game week 27, we are not exactly having any Leicester or Brentford players. So these are players that you'll have to get post 27. Wolves against Leeds, you might or you might not have, an Aston Villa against Arsenal. So Arsenal players you will be carrying forward. Aston Villa players, Leicester players, probably Brentford players, Leeds player, Wolves player. These are the transfers that you have to target post 27. So these are the three fixtures that are confirmed right now. Now, highly likely to be missing out are Tottenham against West Ham, because both of them are into round 5 of FA Cup. Either of the team beats their opponent in round 5, this will be a blank fixture. Similarly for Norwich against Chelsea, Man City and Brighton, you can pretty much say that that will be a blank, because Man City are expected to beat Brighton, their FA Cup opponents. Watford Everton maybe might not be, because Everton will face, I think, either Bournemouth or somebody like that. Newcastle Crystal
Bournemouth is
Yeah, Newcastle against Crystal Palace again might be a blank, but these are like slightly lesser probability. Southampton, Liverpool against Manchester United, again you can pretty much guarantee that Liverpool will be going forward in their FA Cup round against Norwich. So you are probably looking at like 4 to 5 blank fixtures in that particular game week. Probabilities of 7, I think some of them will be dropping. So you'll only have 4 to 5. So if you have only one free hit chip available, suggestion is to save that, because this is the game week that you might require the free hit chip in, considering if you don't have all these players in your team. So that's about it. I think triple captain, no absolute first preference for double game week 26. If you want to go a different route, and if your team supports that, if you have that kind of a team, then in that case you can use your bench boost. If you're using your bench boost, I would personally suggest to wildcard in game week 27 rather than using your free hit in game week 27. You can plan accordingly by having both United and Liverpool and carrying them forward in that sense. So yeah, if you're bench boosting, then don't use free hit. Use it in game week 27 and get yourself out of that team. Anything else to add, Anjan? Otherwise, we will now move to game week 24 fixtures, which we need
no,
to
I
talk.
guess.
Okay.
No, I guess it should be sufficient enough.
Cool. So now
Anyways, just well, guys, I think this is our initial thoughts. Okay, our thoughts will get improvised eventually as the game week progresses. No doubt about that. But initial thoughts are this, right?
we are allowed to change our thoughts, guys. I hope you
Yeah.
understand. Might should not come up to you said you'll triple captain, but you eventually ended up using a free hit. We might. We are also players playing this game. We're not giving you false information out, by the way, but this is our thought process right now. I
Yeah,
don't think it will differ much, but that's what it should be right now. Moving on to the fixtures upcoming, game week 24 fixtures. Well, we have been talking for a long time on this. So let's quickly wrap it up.
yeah, yeah.
Newcastle against Everton. What do you expect?
I think Newcastle have tightened their defense a bit. I think Everton played quite well. Frank Lampard is back managing. I think mm, probably their attack has been quite okay, and I think DCL is fit enough. But I don't know. Do you think that he would definitely start this particular match, or do you see him being in the bench and eventually being brought on?
As I
So there is a doubt about it.
both Newcastle and Everton have signed players. Newcastle have more gone more towards the defensive side of it. They have signed a lot of defensive
Yeah,
players. Got Bruno and all those players. They've signed up the defenders, Dan Burn and Everton has bolstered up in the midfield in the form of Donny van de Beek and all. I have not followed the presser, but I see that the flag on DCL has been removed from FPL right now.
yeah,
So I
he's
don't
fit.
know. I don't know whether he'll play or not, but it does not exactly is like a fixture that fills me with confidence. Will be a lot of like goal scoring fixture in that sense. I don't know if
I
that makes
don't think
sense.
so.
Yeah, so I will probably I might go for a I don't know. This might be a draw, like a
Well,
one.
well, I, I would also definitely go for a 1-1 draw in this. I,
I mean,
I think Newcastle.
I'm not
I
sure
think
if,
like
even if Diesel starts, he will haul or something. He might, but I'm not sure. At least it makes sense if he's fit to start because I think the gap has been very long. Hasn't even played that cup, so he has had a pretty long rest. Score prediction
one one.
similar for me. I can't see anybody actually nicking the win. I want to say Newcastle will win this match, but I think the Frank Lampard effect will be something
Yeah.
that is West Ham Watford.
Uh, I feel I think Watford has tightened their defense a bit, probably.
Uncle Roy is back.
Uh, yeah, and he loves all those 1-0s and all those stuff. But again, I don't feel like Watford scoring this match. I see West Ham winning it comfortably by 2-0.
I'll go contradicting like thought of being. I think West Ham will just manage to win this. I don't see Watford scoring. I think West Ham will win this 1-0 because Roy Hodgson will absolutely suck the living hell out of his players to defend, but eventually somebody like Bowen or Antonio might make it. Burnley United.
Well, as you just mentioned about Antonio, I just wanted to say Antonio is not completely featured to fit. I think he just came back
He'll
from.
play.
I, I heard a rumor that yeah, he might not start this match.
I don't think
Just a rumor,
anyway.
and probably I think Antonio flag has also been turned to yellow right now
I don't know. I don't
after the.
know Antonio,
Yeah,
so I have no idea. But yeah, might be. I think he has played 3 matches for Jamaica in this league,
yeah.
so that is an issue. But I think he'll feature. I don't know. If not,
Mm,
it's happy days for Bowen owners because he'll start as striker then.
yeah.
Burnley United.
Burnley United.
Mhm.
Uh, I feel United would be quite good enough just to nick it. I think probably winning by 1-0.
I think
I
it'll be
don't
more.
see.
Well, I think United should win this probably like a 2-0 kind of a scoreline. I I don't know. I can't say I want only Burnley to score, but I'm excited to see what exactly Weghorst does in the league. There is a chance since Cornet is also back and Weghorst is also there, they might nick. United defense is not exactly the best defense that there is. but they are showing signs of improvement. I'll go for 2-1 in favor of United. So I think Burnley might nick one somehow. Anyways, 2-1 to United. City Brentford.
Yeah, I won't be fool enough to say 7-0 City, but yeah, I don't see Brentford scoring in this match. I see City winning it comfortably, probably by 3-0 or 4-0.
Yeah, I'll go for 3-0 kind of scoreline because this game week is not. Yeah, it is already a midweek, so yeah, it is not followed by a Champions League match. So yeah, 3-0 probably to City. Looks fair enough. Brentford are not exactly in a good place. Not exactly in a good place. Not
No,
particularly,
not
but
Brentford. Brentford away form is not that good actually. Brentford are a decent team when they play in their home turf, but I think they are not that good team, and especially if they are playing against City. So I feel it would be a 3-0 or 4-0 kind of match for them.
I wouldn't go for 4-0. I think 4-0 will be a bit of a stretch, but I think 3-0 is achievable. Plus, there is those issue with Ivan Tony and whatever he did and whatever he said. So I don't know what place they are exactly in the zone right now or not. Norwich Crystal Palace. Uh, I want to hear
Uh,
from you regarding this.
mm, I think it would be a tight affair. I think Norwich has improved drastically, especially their defending has
Back to back
improved a lot.
defeats, right? No?
Yeah, clean sheet. But I feel Norwich should concede in this match because I think Crystal Palace attack are quite good. I think far better.
True.
So probably I would go for a 1-1 scoreline.
Okay. Um, I think Norwich will lose this match. I can see Palace winning. I will go probably for 2-1 in favor of Palace. But yeah, it's difficult to score against Norwich these days. Spurs, Southampton.
Mm, I see Spurs winning it. I think probably they would win by 2-1.
I was about to say like 3-1 probably. Considering everybody is back, I think that might be a thing. Villa leads. Aston Villa leads.
Leeds are in a kind of mess, I guess. But I think Phillips is back, I guess. So
What was the
probably they would.
scoreline? Just
Huh?
like this match has already happened, right? The reverse fixture is about to happen, or it has already happened.
I don't
Aston,
know.
Aston Villa away to Leeds has already happened. Not sure. They were supposed to follow back to back, so I'm just a bit confused. Yeah. So yeah, sorry.
So
Prediction.
yeah, I would go for a Aston Villa win. I think probably 2-0. Aston Villa are playing at home, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, so I'd go for a 2-0 win.
I think Leeds might just nick a goal. Plus, all these
The
are midweek matches. I think. Yeah.
I think the problem with Leeds nicking a goal is that unless and until Bamford is back, who would score for them?
Rafinha.
They don't have a Rafina.
He's always
It's a
involved somehow.
difficult thing.
You know? He will
Yeah,
always
he's involved.
pop up and do something.
Yeah, Rafina is involved, but Rafina is not a natural goal scorer. So I feel like unless and until someone I think Patrick Bamford is back in that team, they would struggle to score goals.
True. What was the striker's name? That lead striker, the young one. God.
Gallard,
Why aren't they
Gallard.
playing that and why are they playing games in that place? I think
I
Gallard is
don't
so
know.
much.
I
I
don't know.
had him in my team, and I think seeing the potential, he's an amazing player. I don't know why he's not being played. But anyways, yeah,
Gallard is a. I think Gallard is a very decent option. He's I think 4.5 and he plays for Leeds and Leeds have a double game week and game week 26.
yeah.
Just for namesake, he's a good thing.
Yeah, 4.5 striker is always a good option, and especially if they're playing for Leeds. Yeah. Liverpool, Leicester.
Uh, 3-1. I would go for a Liverpool 3-1. Or
Yeah, same exact scoreline. I will also go for 3-1. I think. Yeah, I think Liverpool might concede. Finally, Wolves against Arsenal.
you should go with this particular fixture first.
Very weird match to call. I think with Adama Traore leaving, um, kind of weakens their attack a bit. They have not
And I
exactly uh, got
they
a new
have been
backup
like
or something like that.
no they have been like scoring goals. Recently they have been scoring quite number of goals. But Adama Traore was not a sure shot starter also for them. He used to come from bench for last few games. So I don't think that it would weaken their attack. But we
I
always
don't see
thought
Wolves.
Wolves are
I don't see, to be honest. Like that's where I am at. I don't see Wolves scoring, but then again, I don't see Arsenal probably also struggling to score. I'll go with a 1-0 in favor of Arsenal. Somehow nick the match, probably. What
I
about
would go for a nil-nil draw. I would go for a nil-nil draw.
you? Yeah, that's my other option. I think that is something that can also happen. Can be a nil draw because Arsenal are also struggling, and we have not exactly bought anybody in the forward or the striker position. Uh,
Martinelli does. I think it would be if anybody scores, it would be probably Martinelli. I feel.
yeah, might be. Okay, so before we move on to our teams, if we take out the City fixture, Anjan, there's a question for you. If we take out the Man City against Brentford fixture, who is the best captaincy option?
Oh,
If Man City and the Brentford fixture is there, for me, I personally feel KDB is the best captaincy option. If you own him, go ahead and captain him. Absolutely. But many people do not have KDB, and hence I'm removing the Man City against Brentford fixture. Remaining eight fixtures, who is the best captain?
I think Diego Jota is a very good option to captain
Okay.
because yeah, I think Leicester I think has the host XG as you just told. So probably they are playing at home, and I think Jota is in a very decent form. So I think Jota is a very good option. Uh,
Jota is also, mind you, the couple of facts with Jota might not play the entire 90 minutes. Firstly,
yeah,
secondly, Jota is a master at missing big chances, which he might not do this game week, but that factor is there. But there is also the factor that he gets a lot of big chances. So yeah, he's a decent captaincy option, absolutely. Anybody else? I'm in a
mm,
big dilemma as to who to captain.
I guess okay. You are taking that Manchester City Brentford. I think Cancelo. I think probably everybody has
I
it.
mean,
I think
Cancelo,
Cancelo is
Cancelo is a decent option, but I have taken that fixture off, unfortunately. So
okay.
up to you of
Yeah.
the fixture.
So apart from Jota, I think would
Anybody
you
from
go for a?
forward, anybody like Bowen.
No, I won't go for a Barman captain. I probably someone like Bruno. Bruno would like excite me.
Okay. For me, I think if we are taking away the City fixture, I think I'll have a look at the first guys. Not a bad option. At home
Yeah.
against Southampton, I think might be something into it. Let's move on to your team, Anjan. I hope this before we move on to our teams, I hope this entire discussion and this entire journey through chips made some kind of sense for you guys. Uh, if you whatever you liked, you did not like, please drop a comment. below so that we know and we can probably come up with a better chip strategy or better way to make you guys understand the chip strategy. Would help us a lot, right? So Anjan, let's move on to your team. Do you want me to read your team or do you remember?
Yeah, I don't remember. You just read my team.
So you have Ramsdale in keeping position. Your keeper is Ramsdale, followed by Trent, Emerson, Cancelo, Luka Dean. In midfield, you have Bowen, Jota, Foden as captain right now, Madison against Liverpool. Up front, DCL and Kane. On your bench are Dia, Saka, Dennis, and Keane. My goodness, you still have Keane. Yeah.
I just couldn't get rid of him yet. Anyway,
So I
yeah,
believe you have already used free transfer.
yeah. I already transferred out Alonso and I took Lucas in my team. And it was way long before all this chaos happened, or before all this 20, game week 25, before all this game week 25, 26 fixtures are like announced. So I was already prepared to go for a hit,
Hmm.
and now the probability comes I have only 1.8 in my bank.
Hmm.
So my thought process is that okay, I think team is in a okay kind of shape, apart from lacking some United players. So my initial thought process are, uh, if I could get some United coverage, it would have been very good. But I feel like I would take a hit and I would do DCL to someone like Edward and probably generate some fun for a future move. Probably thinking of having Bruno in my team in game week 25.
Hmm.
So that is my initial thought process.
Okay, so you might be taking a hit for DCL to Edward, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
But you are not
Hmm.
convinced that Palace will have a very easy game against Norwich.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not that convinced.
Okay.
And there is another option. I can do medicine to someone like uh mm, probably I would go medicine to someone like uh if I could afford Rashford kind of player.
Okay. Your captaincy right now is on Foden. Is that
Yeah.
who will be your captain?
Uh, I think Foden is an option for me. Apart from Foden, I have Jota as an option, and apart from Jota, I think I have Harry Kane as well an option. So these three are the options. Right now, I'm in Foden,
Okay.
and
So
yeah, one more thing. This is my team, but I'm not like completely out uh, because I had my thought process. I had my thought process of wildcarding in Game Week 24 this
that
particular
was
week.
my
So
follow-up question. So my question to you, not question exactly, if you could take us through where you are right now till game week 27. So what is your plan right now?
yeah, my
So as of now, as I see, you have only one double game week 25 player in Digia, if I'm not
yeah,
reading wrong.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
only one
true.
double game week player, and if I count your double game week 26 players, one, two, three, four, uh, five, six, seven players. You have seven double game week 26 players right now. So
Yeah.
what are your plan? What is your plan?
Well, my plan is that uh, my plan. I think if I go for a like DCL to Edward kind of a player, so I will get a double game week player for 26 also. So my number of double game week player for 26 would be 8, and then I think Edward has decent. run of fixtures, and double game week is also quite okayish kind of. So I think it's not a bad option considering the heat. Then probably I would go for a on 25. I would like transfer both Medicine and Foden out in my Medicine and Foden out from my team and take Bruno and someone cheap like Corne or someone in that
You
price
take
bracket.
Foden out before Norwich.
Yeah, probably
Okay, cool.
because I won't be having a like great captaincy option from a United player.
So
So
I see you
probably
already have two Arsenal players,
hmm,
and you will be having three Liverpool players. So what about
yeah.
27?
Well, 27 I would transfer out probably I would transfer out one Liverpool player and I would play the rest of the my team.
Okay, provided they all have fixtures.
Yeah.
Cool.
And
Mm,
my other doubts are there. I don't have a very I don't have a very nice set of defender in my team. Emerson Royal is not that nailed on, I guess. And Keane
That
is
was
Keane.
also another question. So you have one doubler as Emerson Royal. So are you sticking with that, or will you be switching him around?
That is the issue for me because I would definitely switch Keane from my team, no doubt about that. Problem is that if Emerson Real starts both the game, I think he is not that a very bad option. Leaving the City game, I think Burnley game has a decent chance of a clean sheet of Spurs. So not a very exciting option, no doubt about it, but not a very bad option. Looking to the scenarios, and probably in 27 Spurs have a very good fixture again Leeds away. I think there is a probable chance of Spurs getting a clean sheet.
True.
So so not a bad option, but my only thought is that I don't know like Emerson Royal is that nailed on or not because I think the wing backs are very hard to predict right now. I think both the wing backs positions are in like
I think
kind of
Dorothy is very much back in contention, and Doherty
yeah.
also has a.
Sessignon, like Doherty is back in contention. In the other flank, Regulion is not nailed. Sessignon is having a
I'm talking about this
good
particular
time.
flank. I think Doherty did start the last couple of matches, and but then again,
Uh,
Emerson
uh,
started in
uh,
the pickup as well. So
well, I think yeah, Emerson started in the FA Cup. I think Spurs played I think Spurs played their best team probably, and if like Emerson is nailed in that best team, it's like a similar kind of situation with Diogo Dalot, I guess. So I'm in a similar kind of thing right now. And I won't be using a free hit chip unless and until I won't be using a free hit chip into Game Week 24 unless and until there is a lot of double Game Week games happening.
unexpected
So
double become
yeah, so
true.
that is my current plan. But
Mhm.
again, I'm just saying I'm like still thinking about activating my wild card for Game Week 24.
I
Would
think you
you?
should. Um, would I or not? See, I'm that kind of a person. If you always trying to find a solution to a problem without using maximum resources, I like to keep my resources in my hand and use minimal resources to figure out a problem. So my general instinct is to actually save the wild card, but I think with your team particularly, I would have probably targeted a bench boost considering the keepers and the team that you have. since your fund is spread out entirely. That's just my thinking. So I would have tried to structure my team in that sense. But yeah, it seems like you have a lot of problem that can be solved through using a wild card. But since you're not using your bench boost right away, I think it can be saved. Or rather, it should be saved. Okay, let's move on to my team. Uh, I have Dia playing Dallo, Cancelo, Trent, and Dawson. Dawson from West Ham against Watford. Uh, Jota, Bowen, Foden, Fernandes, DCL, and Kane. The captaincy currently is on Kane right now, who is one of the options that I am considering for captaincy. On my bench are Foster, King, Gray, and Brandon Williams. So the initial thought is to roll the transfer, but there is also a possibility wherein I might be looking to ship out DCL in favor of, as you said, Edward. Crystal Palace has a good run of fixture, and with Gallagher missing out Chelsea match, I think Edward will pretty much play all the matches, but there might be a slight rotation. I'm not exactly right now convinced about Olis because simply because of the fact that Zaha, Eze, everybody is fit. If Olis was nailed, I probably would have made Gray to Olis move, but I don't think he is. That is still something that I am pondering and thinking about if I can do that or not. So I have a lot of doubt regarding captaincy. My options were Cancelo, Trent, Bowen, Fernandez, Jota, and Kane. I did not even consider Foden, very honestly. So out of this lot, I think I have right now I am on Kane. Might go towards Cancelo as well. I think Cancelo is not a bad option. Something that I am considering. Regarding game week 25, I have three United players, so I have three doublers. I don't know if I'm willing to or looking forward to a Brighton player. The only way I will be looking forward to a Brighton player is if I'm not doing any transfer and the transfer is being next game week. Might consider Mope in place of Edward in that case or scenario. But I am not particularly in favor of that. I would like to ideally have a game week 26 doubler. Right now, I have one, two, I think, three, four. I think I have five double game week players right now in my team. With the free transfers, I can get to eight, even nine if I take a hit. So that's the plan right now. Do you have any questions regarding my team?
No, like probably you will be if you sell DCL to Edward, like what will be the fund remaining? Would
I think I have point, not point five in my bank. Um, this trade will generate me around 1.4 extra, so 1.9 around in my bank. There needs to be further downgrades. The only issue now with getting Salah is if I want to keep Kane and if I want to keep Bruno, then it becomes a bit dicey as to how can I progress about that. Otherwise, yeah, Bruno to Salah is a straight swap. But then again, I don't have Bruno for game week 27, which I really want to have. So I'm like, my thought process or my target would be to convert Foden into Salah, but I think that's a bit difficult. In an ideal world, my third Liverpool option would have been Robertson in place of Jota, but since I already have Jota, I don't think I'll be going for that move as well. So yeah, lots to think about.
Yeah, lots to think about.
Anybody, who do you think I should go for as captain before we wrap it up? It's good to have FPL back.
I
So it's like it's after a
I
long. Don't want to lose rank.
well, I said for me, for my team right now it's Foden because I'm considering City to score the most amount of goal, and
The only reason
I
I'm not
think it was.
about Foden is because I'm just thinking the formation that Brentford plays against that. I think Foden will play in a wide left side kind of a role. He'll be hugging the touchline a lot. He will probably be the one who is delivering or creating the ball for somebody like Raheem Sterling, which is my only refrainment from captaining Foden. I don't see Foden playing centrally in this match. So had that been the case, definitely would have been my captain. But I don't see a very huge ceiling for Foden in that. He might get an assist, but there is not much ceiling in that particular foot.
I
That's
will jot. I think then if you are not considering Foden, I think for you the best option would be I think Jota or Harry Kane.
yeah, it is right now on Harry Kane. I think I have to give Jota. I'm not convinced about Trent because I think Trent might concede. Uh, Cancelo is a good option, somebody that might be considered. Anyways, that's about it. Anything else you want to add?
No, I just want to add my wildcard 24 option is not my wildcard 24 option hasn't died at yet. It's still there, which I'm
But
still which
if
I'm still like which I'm still like having a thoughts about it because yeah, it would have
you don't
solved a lot of problem for me. Yeah, Parag.
you don't have much time ahead of you to make that decision.
Yeah, tomorrow is the
For
day.
anybody who does not know,
Let's
the
see.
deadline is tomorrow. Tomorrow midnight
Yeah,
India time and tomorrow evening UK time. So
you get it.
be wary about that. I think 7 o'clock UK time is 6:30 around is the deadline.
6:30 around, I guess.
Yeah. So
Oh,
just be
yeah,
wary about that. Do not miss the deadline. It's been a very long break. Glad to have you guys back. Glad to do the pod again. We have clocked under 1.5 hours, which is pretty decent considering we covered a lot of topics. Hope you guys enjoyed. Do drop your feedbacks and comments. Love you guys. Bye bye. Good night.
good night.